Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime Local News. 5 more people have died from COVID in Saskatchewan, and there are 302 new cases. 26 are in the Northwest Zone, with most of those in the immediate Lloydminster area. 4,707 are considered active. 376 of those are in our zone. 140 people are in hospital, 5 in the Northwest. 27 people are in intensive care. 253 more people have recovered. City Council continues to review the updated fire bylaw, and many suggestions were made at the latest draft reading on Monday. Eric Bay reports.
Governing fire protection within Lloydminster, the fire bylaw was highly debated at Council. One of the biggest talking points was fines for false alarms, specifically whether the fee is enough to stop repeat offenders.
My concern is that are we sending a clear enough message? Because a fine is a deterrent. If you've broken the rules, there's a fine. If the fine isn't a large enough deterrent to fix the problem that keeps causing the fine, then that's the catch.
The draft has fines set at $500 for 4 or more false alarms. The mayor also spoke on dangerous goods, wanting businesses to notify the fire department if dangerous goods are stored within the city.
The biggest, scariest situation I was ever in as a volunteer was going into something you didn't know what was on the other side of the wall. Certainly in a commercial application, that exists in our city. And I just want to ensure that our fire service team has the best information that they possibly can to go to a fire call.
As the city's fire service has transitioned from a volunteer to a composite service, the fire budget has expanded from $800,000 to $3 million. Councillors looked at cost recovery, including the possibility of a user pay system.
There are ways that we can recoup some of those costs. We talked about them today. There's those fines and user fees, there's billing for accidents and that kind of stuff, and the potential to bill for house fires, but it's not the common practice in a city to do that. But I think we need to consider all options right now, because at the end of the day, the taxpayer is paying the bill for all of it. And is there a way we can help offset that cost?
The fire bylaw was established in 2015. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
Around this time of year, schools are getting prepared to host their annual Christmas concerts. And in this week's Beyond the Classroom, we take a look at how the Lloydminster Catholic School Division is hosting a virtual concert. Each school gets their own virtual concert, which is then hosted as a drive-in movie at the Lloyd X. LCSD wanted to host this to give their students the opportunity to learn about the history of Christmas and host something positive in a year where we've seen a lot of negatives.
We celebrate Christmas and the birth of Jesus, and it's really important to us to teach our students all about the birth of Christ. And so to work with the restrictions that we have in place, it was important to still do a Christmas concert for our students and our families.
Tuesday at Father Gorman School, classes were being filmed throughout the day. The concert ranges from songs to a few words from the students. The students and staff were excited to participate in this type of concert.
The students are busy practicing with their teachers in their classrooms and on the stage, and some are doing outside. And then we were lucky to have Kim come in and do some recording of the video and make it look as professional as we can so that the parents can enjoy it with sound coming through their speakers of their cars and things like that.
Making sure they were celebrating Christmas safely this year while giving the chance for all families to participate helped the division offer these concerts.
I think that there was some anxiety about whether we could do this, and we've pulled it off and still made it as special as we have any other year. A huge thank you to Kim Caparel for doing all the videotaping for all of our schools, and thanks to Maz Entertainment for supplying the drive-in equipment that was needed.
And that's it for this week's Beyond the Classroom.
You have goals, and Lakeland College can help you achieve them. Visit lakelandcollege.ca or email hello@lakelandcollege.ca.
A new retail shopping experience has opened up in Kitscoty that gives shoppers the chance to support many local businesses at one storefront. Jace Mackey has more on the Farmstead Market.
I'm joined today with Angie McLean. She joins me from Farmstead Market and More in Kitscoty. Thanks for taking some time to talk with me today.
Thanks so much.
So first of all, my first question is, can you just tell me a little bit about Farmstead Market and More? What is it?
For sure. Yeah. Basically, what we are is we are a local retail spot staffed by us, but stocked by others. So we are basically a hub for local small businesses, producers, crafters, that type of thing, just to give them a space to showcase their products, sell their products, that type of thing.
How did this idea come to be, and like how did it, whose idea was it, and then how did it get executed?
So basically, a few years ago, we were on holidays, and I've seen little marketplaces like this popping up. They're coming all over Alberta, Saskatchewan, BC, right? They're coming up everywhere. And I was like, oh, that's something really neat. And Kitscoty has nothing. Like, we're a small town, we're just outside of Lloyd. So most of us go to Lloyd to find stuff. But I'm like, okay, something like this would do really well in Kitscoty. So kind of had the idea a few years ago, and then this year kind of crazy year to do it with COVID, but we had the opportunity at a building, and we said, okay, let's rush and get it done, and in 4 weeks we had our doors open.
So you guys are open now. For people who are interested in coming by and checking you guys out, what are your hours and where are you located?
For sure. We are located on Main Street in Kitscoty. So we're the big white building. We don't have signage up yet, but we are located next to the empty lot. And we have a big Santa and Christmas tree in the lot next to us, so you can't miss us. Basically, our store hours, we are closed on Mondays, but we're open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 7, Saturdays, 11 to 5, and Sundays, 11 to 4.
And you mentioned that obviously you guys are the ones that are running it, but a lot of the products are from other vendors in the area. Are you guys still taking applications for people who are looking to become vendors?
Definitely we are. We are still under construction as well. So we will have double or triple the retail space here come hopefully February. So if if we don't have room right at this point before Christmas, we definitely will in the new year. So we are always accepting vendors, and we will keep those other ones on wait list until we have more room available. But yes, definitely keep the applications coming in. And we'll keep going through them.
And you touched on this a little bit earlier, but I was wondering if you could expand a little bit more about what it's like and how important it is for Kitscoty to have something like this in a place for local vendors to be able to sell product.
I think it's huge. Kitscoty is a small town, but we are still so close to Lloyd. Mm-hmm. But we have a gas station with some groceries, we have a little salon, we have our Chinese food restaurant, we have our hotel with cafe, a new little cafe just popped up across the street. So we are getting more. So bringing something like this is getting more traffic into Kitscoty. It's bringing people out. It's, people are out for their walks and they have somewhere to stop now. It's just, I think it's a positive thing for sure.
And what has the reaction from the community been like so far?
Overwhelming. So we've got woodworking, we have, oh my gosh, we've got bath and body, we have candles, we have clothing, we have gift cards, greeting cards, we have signs, we have food. So right now in our fridge that we cannot keep stocked, we have old school cheesery cheeses, we have Spiro sauces, we have farm fresh eggs, we have fudge, we have some produce coming next week, some beverages, that type of thing from locals. Basically, you name it, and you turn around a corner in the store and you may find it. There's jewelry. There's just a wide variety of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yep.
And is there anything else that you want to add before we end this today?
I think that's about it. Yeah, I'm just grateful and thankful for everyone for the support, and come on out to Kitscoty and check us out.
Now we'll take a look at your egg prices. While hockey is shut down, the Lloydminster Bobcats are still busy at work. Evan Kenny has more with Bobcats head coach Nigel Dubé.
The Lloydminster Bobcats and the LPSD have partnered up for a food drive to create some holiday hampers coming up here. Joining me today is Lloydminster Bobcats head coach and general manager Nigel Dubé to break this down. Thank you very much for joining me, Nigel. I guess first things first, Nigel, why don't you just tell me what's going on in your own words?
Well, I think for us, throughout all the years of junior hockey, you look to get back to the community as much as you can. And with 2020 throwing the curveballs it has, we want to stay involved and do our part in giving back. And we've done some different things. Back in the spring, we did the family fun run. And then this year we've been doing the Ben's boot camp until the players, went home, and being physically active over Zoom with them and trying to engage as much as we can. And, our staff thought it would be a great idea that, hey, let's do kind of a collectible food drive where people don't have to drop them off. We can go right to their house and pick them up contactless and obviously help give back to the people in need, especially through, the holiday season here. And whether it be a family from the school division or just a family in general, we're looking to help where we can.
Now, Nigel, a lot of the time while we talk, you bring up that you guys aren't just creating good hockey players, but also good people. How much does this play into what you're doing with the LPSD?
Well, I think it's a big part of it, with our players. I think they missed that part where they were involved in the schools and getting out there and seeing the kids. And I did too, personally, as a coach. It's fun to see our guys engage with the kids and be out there. But we want to, create humans that are going to succeed in the world and want to help out and give back when they can. And, we're very real when we have our conversations with our players along the lines of, what can we do to help others? And that's the biggest part. We're fortunate to get to do what we do, even through our short season to start off with before we get going again in the new year. But, we were very fortunate to go to the rink every day and play the game we love. And not everybody has that. So I think it's big for us to be able to get back, and the holidays, it's been a tough year overall in general. And the holidays is going to put more strain on people, looking to have that meal. And by meal, it might just be the household meal and a few gifts. So we actually had some gifts donated too for some kids. So that's been awesome. And we're excited about that.
And you mentioned the players there. I know there's quite a few local guys on the team this season. Will some of those guys who are sticking around be helping out a little bit?
Yeah, we've had some of our guys that are around here still go and pick up the food and be active in that. And, we shoot them a text with the address and there's no questions asked. They're just boom, they're in their vehicle, they go pick it up. And it's been an awesome outpouring of support so far. And our players want to do what they can. It's one of those that they're committed to this community, whether they're from here or still here. Some of our guys weren't able to go home. So some of our guys are still active members of the community and want to be involved that way. And that's what we pride ourselves on as an organization.
And finally, Nigel, if somebody does need a home pickup, how do they go about this in getting in contact with you guys?
Yeah, all they got to do is call into the office, 780-871-0900, or email admin, ADMIN, at LloydminsterBobcats.com. We'll set it up. We can go pick it up, just kind of leave it on the doorstep or wherever it may be. We pick it up, bring it back to the office here, and we'll look to build those campers to start next week.
Thank you very much, Nigel, for taking this time. This was Nigel Dubé of the Lloydminster Bobcats.
Now our Connor Chan will take a look at your weather forecast.
All right, thanks, Jasmine. Looking right now, still sitting around that 0 mark. We are going to get a little bit colder heading into the next hour here, as it could get a little bit into that -6 degrees. We're going to have a big drop there in a little bit here. But take a look at some other temperatures right now. 3 degrees in Edmonton with 2 out in Edson, 1 for Rocky Mountain House and Jasper as well. 2 degrees, at the Basket and Cold Lake as well. Looking at Saskatchewan right now, 0 also we see in North Battleford with -3 in Saskatoon, -2 for Melfort, and then we also see 1 degree in Meadow Lake and in Prince Albert. Now taking a look up north, there are some areas in northern Alberta and Saskatchewan. There is a chance of some flurries, including in Fort Chipeway, but La Loche and Buffalo Narrows as we take a look at Saskatchewan right now. -3 currently right now for them, and -1 for L'Orange with -3. Also in Walston Lake, -4 for South End. A little bit colder up in Uranium City as they're close to -20 there, and -13 for Stony Rapids. Fort Champlain, I mentioned, of course, with a chance of flurries there. Fort McMurray, 1 degree right now. 2 degrees up in high level with 1 in Peace River and Grand Prairie, and then we see 2 degrees in Slave Lake. Now taking a look at southern Alberta and Saskatchewan, much different story than it was yesterday. Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, Calgary and Banff all sitting right now at 1 degree. -2 for Coronation. As we look at southern Saskatchewan, there are a bunch of weather, special weather statements for the southern Saskatchewan area right now, including Swift Current, as well as in some other areas as well. 0 right now though for Swift Current and Moose Jaw. 1 degree in Regina, 2 in Yorkton and Estevan, and -2 in Kindersley. And special weather could mean, in that regard, we could see some freezing rain. Of course, we see the graphic there with Regina. There could be lots of ice along on the way right now. But take a look at Winnipeg, 2 degrees, -5 in Quebec City with some flurries, 3 in Toronto with some cloud coverage, 2 degrees in St. John's with 0 in Halifax right now. Clear skies in Edmonton throughout the day there at 3 degrees, 9 degrees in Vancouver with mostly sun and a few clouds. Yellowknife right now -16 with some clouds there, and then Whitehorse currently -6 with a little bit of sun, but mostly some cloud coverage. As we take a look into tomorrow, -5 is our expected daytime high, so we are starting to get a little bit colder here. -4 in Vermilion for tomorrow, -3 in Vegreville and Edmonton, with -3 also up in Cold Lake, Bonnyville, and Pearceland as well. -2 for Lac La Biche tomorrow. We'll also see -4 in Wainwright and Provost as well. -5 for Macklin with -6 in North Battleford, and then -5 in St. Walburg. And then we'll also see -4s along that stretch there of Meadow Lake, Green Lake, and in Isle La Crosse. Now, as we take a look at the next 7 days here, we are going to have -8 there on Friday there, -7 on Saturday there, with possibly some flurries on Sunday and on Monday as well, with the possibility there. Maybe we could get some scattered flurries, could be some snow along that front as well. -13 though for Monday, and then -13 also we'll see again on Tuesday. We are going to start to have much colder mornings, as we look at Monday there. We'll start off with -20 as our daytime low, with -18 the low there for Tuesday. And then as we get into Wednesday, -10 is our expected daytime high with continued cloud coverage. So we'll start to see a little bit colder temperatures starting on Sunday there. That is a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
I'm joined once again this week by Stephanie Dobson. Stephanie is a lawyer and mediator at Henke Divorce Law here in Lloydminster. And Stephanie, we've done this a few times now, so I think our viewers are getting used to our conversations. Always about a difficult subject, though, divorce, and that's no different today. But today we're going to talk about resources that are available, and specifically books for people who are either in the separation process or thinking about divorce or going through a divorce. Let's talk about, first of all, what books you'd recommend for people who are going through any of these processes.
Sure. So I've spent the last 15 years as I find things online or I go to conferences and I grab every single book I can find that helps families to transition through the separation and divorce in a positive way. And so I thought of kind of a fun topic for today is to feature some of my favorites. And so what I've done is I've grouped them. And the first ones I wanted to go over was some resources for kids. So these are ones that I'm just going to show them on the screen. Hopefully that's not too doesn't have too much reflection. So this one's called Two Homes, and this one's great. As you can see, I mean the writing in it is really quite big, and so it's really designed for younger children, for parents to read this to them at night. And I often find that kids even will leave this on their bookshelf and they'll kind of peek through it as they go. Night after night as they're doing their own reading.
Right.
So that's the first one. The second one is for a little bit older. So this one's called Mom's House, Dad's House for Kids. And as you can see from the spine, it's a little bit more of a novel kind of a thing. There's still some big writing and whatnot. So this would sort of be more for preteen teens to be able to kind of look through it themselves. Iselina Ricci, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her name right. She's one of my very favorite authors, and I've got another book of hers that I wanna also suggest. So that's the other one for teens. And then the last one for kids, this is a bit of more of a novel, but it's called Helping Your Kids Cope with Divorce the Sandcastles Way. So this is actually a resource by the author has actually put on some live workshops and helps families to go through it. So there's sort of exercises that you can do with your kids and drawings and helping them, you know, kind of day by day as you find their various needs. So those are the ones that I'd recommend for kids.
Well, going through a divorce, as you know, Stephanie, is not easy. This is something that you deal with talking to families that are going through this all the time. What resources do you suggest for parents who are just learning to parent with two homes now instead of having that family dynamic?
So this one is by that author that I had mentioned before, Isolina Ricci. It's called Mom's House, Dad's House. And this is a bit of a novel, and I use it all the time, so I've got my little sticky notes on it. But this book is what I would call sort of an encyclopedia. So it can be really overwhelming for families if they're trying to go through it, you know, sort of from start to finish. And so this book, though, is what I would recommend as a really good starting point, and it can help you at various sections within your journey. So you may want to read a few pages that are applicable to you now, and then 6 months later, other passages might be more applicable. And then once you're settled into two homes, other things might be more applicable. So it's a big read, but this is a book actually that I have at my office. This one and the two homes are the two books that I have at my office in bulk. And for every one of the families that I help that have children, I always give these away because I think they're such great resources.
Now, what about if someone is just kind of starting the process, Stephanie? You know, obviously there's a lot of information out there, but you kind of really need to separate it just to figure out what is good and what is bad. And you've kind of really done this for some of our viewers now. So what would you recommend if people are just starting out the process? What are some of the books that they should be looking into?
Yeah, so it's interesting because when people call our office to, you know, they're separating and they think they need a lawyer, they need someone to help them through their separation or divorce. Often people don't think about process of sort of how do I get divorced? How do I get from point A to point B, from together to separated to divorce? And so what we focus on in our office is not necessarily telling people what the best process is for them, but helping them to figure out what might be the best process for them. So there's of course lots of resources online if you just want to read articles, but two of the books that I would recommend just to get some perspective. One is called Children Come First: Mediation, Not Litigation When Marriage Ends. There's that one, and then the other one is called The Collaborative Way to Divorce. And so these are just two options to get a little bit more of an idea of how to stay out of court, some of the benefits and why you'd want to do such a thing. But this is one of my very, very favorites. It's called Tug of War. And this one's written by author, Mr. Justice Harvey Brownstone at the Ontario Superior Court of Justice. And he, being a family law judge and family law lawyer for many, many years before his judgeship, is the first one to dissuade people from coming into the courtroom. Sort of starts out the book by saying, you know, why would you want a stranger to decide your fate for you, for your family? And so anyways, it goes on with lots of different reasons, and he's obviously got that experience from the court perspective and as to why you would not want to put your family through the court process.
Well, Stephanie,
those are some good process ones.
Yeah, and these have all been really great resources. If people are looking to just, you know, sometimes they don't catch it right during the interview, we'll obviously be posting this on our social media, but there will be a link on your website as well, and with a list of kind of all the resources there. So can you tell me how people can find you and look for you in your website?
Sure. So if you go to henkadivorce.ca, under media engagement, I've got this TV series, and all of our previous sessions or segments are up there. And underneath this one, I've put a link to our e-learning community where we have all of the resources, not just these ones that I featured today, but all of the resources that are part of my library. I've done a whole inventory of them and put them all up online. And they're all focused on how to positively transition through separation and divorce. So there's sort of that focus in those resources. So you can check it out. You can get a link on our website.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie, for joining us today. And once again, we'll be back to chat with you again next week.
Thanks for having me again, Stacey.
I'm speaking with Tess Whack with Startup Lloydminster. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Can you tell me more about the hashtag YLL Christmas contest?
So our favorite hashtag YLL favorite things is one that we started last year, and we had great success with it. And so we thought we'd bring it back this year, and really it's just focusing on our favorite things throughout the community. So watch for the posts. We'll ask, you know, your favorite hair salon, your favorite dentist, your favorite shop, different things like that. And so you can tell us your favorites and be entered to win some cool prizes.
And was there lots of support with this contest last year?
Yes, there was lots. We actually had a lot of businesses want to contribute to our gift basket. And so, you know, it ended up being a pretty big prize. And so this year we've got our gift basket at the end, which is the grand prize. And then we have some weekly prizes for gift cards as well. So it's a great contest.
And for residents that don't know, how can they participate in this contest?
So watch on our social medias. You can like, share, tag, different things like that. And then we're asking you to take your favorite businesses. So there's different themes each day. And so you can follow along that way.
And can you elaborate on what sorts of prizes are all involved in this contest?
So we have weekly draws for gift certificates, a $50 gift certificate, and that's for whichever place the person gets drawn for says is their favorite. So it's great to support local business that way. And then at the very end, we have a big gift basket with some of our favorite things that we've gone out and shopped and bought. So we're excited to put that all together and make that draw.
And what else has Startup Lloydminster been planning for December?
So one thing that we're very excited to finally be able to launch is our Digital Main Street, or DMS, Shop Here program. So it actually originated out in Ontario when the pandemic hit and businesses needed to close their storefronts, and so they needed a way to get online. And so this was created through that. So we've been able to work with our partners to bring it here to our community. And so businesses can access students through this program to build an online store for them at no cost. So it's a really great program. We wouldn't have been able to bring it here without the support of our partners, the City of Lloydminster, Community Futures, and the Chamber of Commerce. And so we're very grateful for them. And so if this has any interest to you, please reach out. You can give us a call, 1-888-299-7652, and we can answer any questions you may have as well. We're just taking applications for a wait list now. We're waiting to get some dates and stuff confirmed for the students, but you can apply for that wait list on our website at startuployd.com/shophere.
Oh, and I think that's a really great idea. What other kind of support is needed for Startup Lloydminster, especially during the holidays this year?
Well, we're really just trying to find different ways to support our entrepreneurs, and this was a big one. To just get them online, because so many people are just wanting that online option. So that was one that we're finding an online presence is a big request from businesses right now. As well, just awareness that they're here, the things that they're doing. Yes, we're just really trying to provide those supports that they need. If they're needing just, you know, some coaching around pivoting, different ideas, some supports with that stuff too, we're here to help. As well, if you're trying to figure out how to launch your business, we're still here to do that as well. So we're happy to help in any way that you may need. If you have any questions, please reach out. That's what we're here to do.
And how did this idea come up to bring the DMS Shop Here program here to Lloydminster?
For the DMS, it was one that some of our partners we've heard throughout the province were bringing, and we'd heard of it happening in Ontario. And so once we heard they were bringing it to their regions, we really wanted to work hard to bring it to ours. So we were very excited to see it come to fruition. It's been in the background for quite some time now, so we're very excited to be able to bring this to our residents. And it's not, I just want to also mention that it's not just open to businesses located in Lloydminster, they're in our region. So if you're not located in Lloydminster, that is okay, still reach out. There are some requirements that need to be met, but for the most part, our businesses are meeting them. So just if you have any questions, reach out and we'd be happy to answer.
And is there anything else you want to add for residents to know about?
It's a great program. We're very excited for it. There is a wait list and there's a limited number of spots that we can take. So if it is something you're considering, please let us know. The students only have so much capacity. I wish we could do everybody, but we're unable to. So we're able to work with our partners to bring this here. And as I said, having them come in on it with us has allowed us to open it up a little bit more. And so we're happy with that, but there is still a limited wait list. So if you are interested, like I said, get your name on that list.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Tess.
Thank you.
All right, taking one last look here at your weather forecast. -5 heading into tomorrow there with a little bit of sunshine, but mostly some clouds there. We are going to start to get a little bit cloudier over the next little bit here. -8 on Friday with -7 there for Saturday. We are expecting snow on Sunday and on Monday as well. We could see possibly on Sunday up to 3 centimeters of snow there, and then just some scattered flurries there for Monday as it kind of carried over from the Sunday at the high there on -16. We are going to start to get a lot colder into the morning, especially with Tuesday, the low there of -21 to start the day there. -15 the high there for Tuesday though, and then as we get into Wednesday, -11 with continued cloud coverage with a low there of -19. So starting to get above our averages there for -8 as our average high and -17 as our average daytime low.
Thank you for joining us on Primetime Local News. Have a great night.